we're gonna tell you guys little secrets, little tips,
stories,
how to overcome fears.
Yeah.
Which is only one way to do it, but stay tuned for that.
Yeah, definitely we'll get into that.
Yeah. Hey guys, how are you?
It happened again. You just got to tell them it happened again.
Okay, guys. So let me tell you a quick story. We just recorded 20 minutes.
Literally 24 minutes and forgot to hit record on the audio.
You know, at this point, we're getting used to that.
Yeah, it's just a part of the game.
It's
we can't
natural,
even be mad.
I'm starting to think that we do it on purpose.
In the words of Marcus Aurelius,
we do that to like loose up.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I feel loose.
Yeah, I'm tight too.
Loosey goosey. But in the words of Marcus Aurelius, you can't really be mad at what happens. You just got to move forward because it happens for a reason. And the only you're giving it power if you end up getting mad at it. So let's just get it going, man. Let's get it started, Kenny. This is what episode?
36.
Episode 36.
Once again,
man.
Guys. I'll try to make this quick.
Welcome to Clockland Podcast.
My name is Kenny.
My name is Lewis.
This is my co-host.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, that's my boy Lou.
I already like the energy of this part even better than the last one, honestly. 20 minutes, man.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah, guys. I mean, well, you know what?
You live and you learn. Guarantee you next episode it won't happen.
We said that last time, and look at us.
Shit.
But now, guys. Quick announcement, like always. Check us out on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok,
Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts.
That's our social media. If you guys want to put the podcast, we're on
every podcast platform, basically. The social medias are up there as well. If you have a business or a brand, anything, you're an artist, you want to promote your business, 15 to 30 second ads, hit us up in the email. You already know. Let's get it started. Yeah, that was very bad.
Yeah, well, guys, we were talking about
like
fears.
And subscribe, man.
We were talking about fears.
Yeah, that's the topic of this episode is fears.
Yeah.
We gotta. Damn, we gave such a good explanation.
Yeah,
of it
we were
too.
talking about. Oh man,
So
but you know what?
examples.
This is gonna be better. So
yeah, let's get it.
we were talking about fears.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just since
Fix that quick. Yeah.
Sorry, since you already get your point, I'm not gonna make you do it again.
Nah, I'm gonna give it again.
Right, but I'm this time I'm gonna start with my point.
Yeah.
So
how you got the idea though? That's the thing.
Well,
how we got the idea? Like remember how you explained that?
Oh yeah, so
everything came up as well.
Quick backstory: Lewis called me the other day, yesterday actually, not the other day. I have this thing of saying that. Like Lewis called me the other day, and he called me yesterday actually.
It was literally yesterday. Last
Anyways,
night. Yeah.
He called me and he was like, "Yo, I'm trying to spit some game."
Yeah.
In my mind, I'm thinking like, yo, he's trying to, whether it's that, whether it's financial game, whether it's, but what he meant was live game or game life.
Game of life. Just game in terms of life and providing value.
Right. So, we're gonna tell you guys little secrets, little tips, stories, how to overcome fears. Which is only one way to do it, but stay tuned for that.
Yeah, definitely we'll get into that.
Yeah. So also yesterday, and this is I was going in. Yesterday, Lewis asked me. I think I asked you a question.
Okay. I don't know where you're going with this. So
I don't remember what the question was.
I'll let you know.
Oh, I was talking about socialphobia.
Okay, yeah.
And then you were like, I don't know what that is. And then I gave you the definition, and then I gave you an example.
Yeah, it was like the fear of crowded areas, open crowded areas.
That's socialphobia is the fear of judgment or rejection.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So Lewis was like, "Well, have you ever like experienced that?"
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, I know what you're talking about now. Okay,
so
yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna give you guys a little of my background, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much, before I came to Denver, obviously. I used to live in New Haven for like 3 to 4 years or so. The culture in New Haven, you would think it's the same because it's the same state, same everything. It's completely different.
Different people.
I used to be around a lot of Puerto Rican guys, a lot of people from Central America.
Mm-hmm.
And well, the narrative there is like, I remember, I don't know why, but Puerto Ricans are really into like shoe collection. Yeah. So like, and not just them, Dominicans are as well. I became a fan of it, obviously.
Me too.
You too, actually. Yeah. Even us, like, quick story. Me and Lewis, 2 years ago, was it? Or 1 year ago?
Might have been
2 years ago.
Right after the pandemic.
During.
Was
I
it
think
during?
it was during because we couldn't walk in.
It was.
Me and Louis found this guy, this plug.
Yeah.
We started buying shoes and
bro.
shoes.
I finessed him so many times, but he ended up catching on, and then I was just like, "Nah, it's alright." But bro, I got my money out of him. I'm not gonna cap.
Anyways,
keep going.
So I remember like they'll make fun of other people, not only by their shoes, but also like the way that they dress. You know, like the style was very big into them, and obviously like you're in that age, of course you want to look good. And I tell you one thing that my mom told me. And I'm not gonna sit here and say I remember that my mom told me this. When we came here, obviously we weren't rich. We're not rich at this point. We will be, but we didn't have that much money. We were not capable of obtaining material stuff like shoes, clothes, all that.
You got the necessities,
right? So I even Puerto Ricans, like, bro, I tell you what, in my country, I'll cut my hair like 5 times a year, no more than that. Cause I used to always have a big afro, bro, always.
Yeah.
And I when I came here, I see that guys, like to get their fade and look nice and clean.
There's people that get cuts once a week, bro. That's crazy.
Yeah, exactly. And especially having to not cut this beard like once a month or something like that. You look crazy. So, when I came here, that was my thing. I was like, I can't afford J's. I can't afford like nice shirts or jeans. So at least let me just like get nice
little shape up.
So I will argue with my dad. My dad would be like, "Let me cut your hair."
My dad used to try to do that.
I'd be like, "Nah,
too.
sir, no, sir." So my mom will hop on my side and just stand like, "Yo, just give him money so he can get a haircut." Because my mom always told me,
"You gotta look nice."
Since we are, I don't want to say the word broke, but that's the word she used. So she said, since we're broke, don't mean you have to look like you're broke.
Yeah.
And that's stuck with me.
My stepmom used to say that.
That stuck with me forever. So hopefully and thankfully enough, I'm at a point now where I don't have to depend on them. I don't want to bother them and asking them for money, and I can get my own stuff. Going back to the point, yeah. So, I seen a lot of people getting make fun of just because the way they dress. And mind you, the high school it was like Denver. Like there was a lot of people from all different places. So just because you're not dressed a certain way, they'll make fun of you. You know what I mean? And I never wanted to be made fun of like that. I was socially phobic. I was scared of that.
Socialphobic. Okay.
So so I was like, I was never really big into shoes, but just because of that, and I was scared to make fun of, because they will pick up on you, bro, for a week.
You,
for a week, and they will be on top of you, bro, over and over and over. So, I started saving money, doing little jobs here and there, saving money. I remember my first pair of Jordans. It wasn't even like retro ones. It was just some regular. They just had the
flights.
Yes. They literally say flight like the thumb.
Yeah, I know.
And I was like, y'all can make fun of me because I have J's on. But then I came to find out
because you had the flights.
Bro, I did not know that flights and like retros were different things. I just thought because they said Jordan, then that's it.
Yeah,
that's what I thought. But then you're like, nah. And then I had one of my friends. Yo, look, I'm gonna put you into the game. Look, you gotta get these.
That's what's up. At least he put you on.
Point of the matter is that
you were socialphobic.
I was socialphobic in that aspect. And I kid you not, I have boxes of shoes at my house that I do not wear.
Same thing with me.
Like I have so many. I'm not gonna say that I have 30, 40 pair of shoes. I don't have that many.
Yeah,
but
good amount.
I have a decent amount, I guess, and I don't wear them. Not once. Like I'm not gonna lie, bro. I'm always on Crocs. I'm always on Crocs or sweats.
Vibes. I've been on that myself.
And as a matter of fact, I have another pair of Crocs in my car.
Yeah.
Just in case.
I got you. I catch your vibe.
You feel me? Cause now I grew up out of that, and that's so immature.
It's materialistic.
Not even that, cause how can I make fun of that? Like that's so like you don't know what people's going through, so you really can sit here and be like, he's wearing flights. You know what I mean? That's ridiculous, bro. That's insane. And I tell you what, I was talking to my girl the other day too, and I was like, I'm trying to get rid of some shoes actually. Some shoes that I'm The Sakai's, $400. How many times have I used them? 5 times max.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get rid of them because that's $400 that I need for something else.
If you want some Sakai's, hit up Kenny on the Instagram.
But and I was like, she was like, don't sell them. Like, I like them. You like them. You bought them for a reason. And I was like, it is true, but I don't go out as much. I don't go out. If I go out, I'm going to your house, to Braylon's house, Ethan's house, Stanley's house, my girlfriend's house, gym. That's it.
Yeah.
And wherever I go, those places, you'll see me on Crocs. You see me on sweats, shorts, and that's it. Yeah. I don't wear J's anymore. I don't wear not even J. I don't just wearing like those type of shoes anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you go out of it, but I still believe that, you know, if we're gonna go for like an event or something like that, you just have them in there just in case. But you don't need like 14 pairs.
Right.
I get what you're saying.
Even now, Louis, like I feel like, remember that time they went to the bank?
Oh my gosh!
And how do you feel that day?
I felt like a grown ass man.
Right. That's
up like
that's
a gentleman.
what I feel, bro. I went. I'm not gonna say where I went, but I went to this place and I saw everybody that was like dressed up nice,
dapper and stuff. Yeah.
And I had some cargos. I had a flannel.
You felt like a child.
And I was like, yo, that ass. I'm that serious.
It's just stepping up in this world. There's different adventures.
My swag, I guess you can call it,
has evolved.
Desert boots. Like
dress pants.
Kind of like dark jeans that I can. Yes. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I guess I'm being old.
I guess I'm growing up. That in itself is. I agree with you. Once you're leveling up in this world, you're gonna your point of view is gonna change. And I actually have a story like yours that I want to get into, but
and I'm not before I say, like, you see all these rich guys, you don't see them like wearing like ripped jeans. Like, you know what I'm saying?
All mostly in
They're
suits.
all like dressed up nice, you know. And that's, I'm not rich yet, but even that, like my mom said, you like always have to look presentable. You have to look, you know, for the occasion.
No, I agree with that, bro. Like I said, I told you this a while ago, but if you want to go out and figure out where we could go buy some dapper clothes, I'm with that.
Bro, like,
I like the feeling you get.
We gotta do it.
Yeah,
like, I
love that feeling, bro. It's just you feel on top of the world. People look at you, they treat you different. It's just a whole different vibe.
That is also true.
Yeah,
like you'll get treated so different.
Yes, bro. Yes,
that is true, and it's messed up because what I'm wearing doesn't determine how much.
People judge you off their first looks. It's just a part of it. It's just a part of it.
But I'm not gonna lie, I do it too.
Life, yeah,
I do it too.
But I had a story like that as well when I was in freshman year, I believe, in DHS. I wouldn't say I had like that same situation where we didn't have enough money or anything like that, because I probably did. You know, I could probably afford some Jordans like that. The thing with me was I've always been self-dependable since I was young. Not even to the point where I asked my mom or my dad. That's just not the type of person I am. I've never been like that. True. You could ask my brother, he'll testify, my sisters, all of them. I just don't like asking my parents for anything. And that's kind of messed up in a way, but that's just the type of person I am. I don't want
that creates the strong mentality.
Yeah, like, I know. You know what I mean? Yeah, because I know they have so much on their plate, and obviously we live in a nice house now, but back then we didn't live in a house like this. So I'm like, I've always been self-conscious. I would say pretty intelligent since I was very young. So I always thought, like, I don't know what situation they're in, what bills they have to pay, what their problems, what problems that are happening in their manosphere, in their world. So whatever I got was whatever I got. I always worked for everything. I used to, you would see me with my dad and his landscaping company, little ass kid. My dad would literally wait for me to get off the bus. I would get on the car with him. We'll go out to work. I earned my money. I never asked him for anything.
That's what's up.
I believe it was freshman year, and it was the Roshis. You remember when the Roshis were popping at one point? Everybody had Roshis.
I have a pair of Louis that I wore once.
Yeah.
And bro, I kid you not.
Them ugly ass shoes.
Bro, you seen them?
No, I'm saying Roshis are ugly in general. I don't like the way they look.
You know,
I don't
how
know
like
why.
they're like the thin and then they get.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I believe they're running shoes. I guess they're supposed to be like, you know, better for running. But to the point was, I remember people were like, I don't know where I got them, but they were like a knockoff brand, like a fake version, but they looked exactly the same. You couldn't tell them apart. They just didn't. I don't know. I don't even think they had the swoosh.
They were Nike?
They weren't Nike, but they had it was the same shoe, exactly the same, igualito, same material, everything. They felt exactly the same. I put on actual Roshis and I put my shoes on exactly the same. But I worked for those shoes. Like as a little ass kid, and I believe it was freshman year, so I probably got them when I was in the 8th grade summer, going into freshman year. You know, everybody's coming in fresh as fuck and shit.
Let me ask you something.
Yeah, you good?
Do you know what you were getting? Like, you know they weren't like the actual Roshis? You did know that? That's one of my fault that I cut you off.
Don't forget. No, I didn't buy them. So I think it was my stepmom that bought them for me. It was a gift.
Don't forget that. I want to say something too. People that make fun of others because of that, like you and I, we both work for our stuff, right? I bought some flights thinking that they were J's. So now I'm like, yeah, I'm one of y'all. And that still got rejected.
Yes.
So for like, don't do that. Seriously, that's so messed up.
Ignorant. That's so messed up. We were children, so it's like, you know, children are harsh.
Yeah.
It's just the truth of life. But yeah, so she gave me those shoes, and obviously I'm like, yo, I don't know if maybe she thought they were Roshis, and you know, it just didn't end up being Roshis, but it was a gift, so you know, I'm aware of them. If somebody gives me a gift, I'm not that type of person that's just gonna be like, I'll throw it to the side or some shit like that, even if it's not a popular brand or anything like that. But she gave me the shoes. I went to school the next day, and somebody noticed that they weren't like the Roshis. Someone noticed. I forget who it was exactly, but then a whole group, and they were like trying to like make fun of me and shit. High? Yeah, it was at DHS. I remember it was during lunch, and we were outside. Wow. You know where the wall is, where people used to play like wall ball and stuff like that. It was right there. We were sitting on the ledge, and then like there was like a group of people around me, just like pointing at my shoes and laughing at it and shit like that. And I remember that moment. I was just like, at that point, I've never felt so low in my life. It's like it felt like I was against the wall, and everybody was just, you know,
pointing fingers.
Yeah,
you know what I hate too?
Hurt the self-esteem.
But you know what I very dislike? What are those?
It was during that time. Yeah, so everybody was like, "What are those?" and shit.
God.
I don't know. So I think somebody might have took a video and try to like make fun of me or some shit like that. But I don't remember too clearly if it was like that.
I'm actually excited that you said that.
It was a part of I don't know. It was just a part of being a child, but come at me now, man. Let's see what's going on. Who's really on top? You already know. Kenny asked me yesterday. He wouldn't answer it, but he asked me my net worth yesterday, and I told him. And then I asked him his, but he won't tell me. He's fucking being a dickhead. But you know, it's not even that. It's like at that point, why would you make fun of somebody not knowing what their situation was?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I can't get it through my head how people will make fun of you because you wearing this, you wearing that. It's like, bro, like there are so many more things that we could think and that are more important than this.
Yeah,
like you can't tell me you making fun of me because I have
some material shit that was probably made in the same factory.
And I get it. We were kids. I'm not gonna lie.
There's still people that still do that to this day,
bro.
Yeah, it's very. It just shows the character that you have.
I'm not gonna
shows what you've developed to be.
And I'm not trying to talk bad on them. You know how like they'll wear J's, right? So a good pair, fire pair.
Yeah.
But they'll have jeans. You know the basic jeans that you always see.
Yeah.
With the like a plain shirt with the Nike sign. That's it.
Drip.
That's drip. And I'm like, and now they still wear that. So I'm like, come on. We were talking about J's. Fine, you got the J's, but from the J's up, if you want to base it on your logic, then you look ridiculous because you have ripped jeans that are super tight that are so out of fashion.
I haven't worn jeans in so long,
bro. I have 5 pairs of jeans.
I need to go buy some new. I wouldn't say they're gonna be ripped like tight jeans, but I need to get some new pair of jeans. But I want to get back into that story because that brought a fear onto me, bro. That I was so self-conscious of everything that I wore after that. So any shirts, any shoes, bro. Those shoes, I'm pretty sure I never wore them again after that. I was just like, I don't want to have that feeling of somebody making fun of me just because of the shoes I had. And I didn't have that many shoes back then because like I told you, I never asked them for anything. So anything that I had to buy myself. And at that point, it's like, yeah, you don't have expenses and stuff like that, but you're a child. You're not gonna be making bread.
Bro, me too. I remember it got to the point to me that I would look at your shoes before I look at your face.
Yeah, and a lot of people still do that.
It was that important.
A lot of people still do that.
And I'm not gonna lie, that was me not being me. Cause where I grew up, bro, it was that I let
same shit for me,
that
bro.
I let them like get into my head. You know what I mean? Like I let them dictate the way I think or my beliefs, which is completely wrong.
Yeah, but bro, that's the self-esteem, the way that I remember. I remember because I remember how I told you I didn't grow up very confident because I was like super skinny and stuff like that. So now I'm already self-conscious about my body. And then on top of that, now what I have on top of my body, I have to be self-conscious about. So I was just like, I never had that confidence. But what did I do? I ran through that shit. At that point,
you had a fear
in the gym. Yeah.
You know,
and then I also want to get back to the definition of fear as well, because we said it in the 20 minutes that we were talking earlier before, but you know, things happen. The definition of fear is an unpleasant emotion caused by the belief that someone or something is dangerous, likely to cause pain or a threat. It's a very self-explanatory thing, but I want to talk about, you know, how we talked about the only way to get over the fear, and we kind of already said it, and you said it earlier today.
I said it earlier, and I just said it now. There's one way to beat the fears, which is
run through that shit. So you know what I did? I put on the same shoes and walked through that school like I didn't give a fuck. I did not care at that point.
Yeah, respect.
It was
that takes a lot.
It was literally, I stopped wearing them for maybe a month, but then I started thinking, I was like, this was a gift from my stepmom. Either way, you know, she bought that with her hard-earned money. So I was like, I kind of started thinking, how do I don't have any other pair of shoes to wear. I think I might have had like 2 other pair of shoes, and I forgot. I think I might have lost one, and one had like a hole in the bottom. I forget how it happened, but I had a hole in the bottom, and I was like, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna go to school with no shoes on? I was like, just fuck it. I put on the shoes, and I just did not care at that point. Anybody that tried to like make fun of me, I would make fun of them for something that they had on.
Let me say 2 things.
Like, you fat fuck.
Let me say 2 things very quick before I forget. Don't forget the hole in the shoe thing. The other thing that I was gonna say, I forgot, what was it?
Damn, how'd you forget already, dude?
I was gonna say 2 things. I must have I forgot what it was.
Damn, was it about the hole in the shoe?
No, you said something else that
about having only 2 pair of shoes and walking through the school like I didn't give a fuck. It's about that. No.
Anyways, I hope it comes back to me. But yo, let me tell you this. Growing up, like I said, me and my brother share like shoes. So back in my country, wherever you go to school, you had the uniform, right? So I have my pants, my own pair of shoes, my own shirts, all that, right? But when it came to like, we will have a whole day to do gym class. It wasn't like here like 45 minutes.
Yeah,
it's a whole day there.
Yeah.
So
I had that in DR.
So, and it's a whole different uniform. Like, they give you different shirts, different pants, and you got to bring your own shoes. But I remember that one time, my brother had gym class or gym day, whatever.
Yeah.
And then I was leaving school because my teachers didn't come to school. That's one thing. When the teachers don't go, you get to leave early.
Okay.
So I left early with my friends. I saw my brother, then my mom, whatever, we went home. The day after that, I had the gym day, and he had class. So I walked into school. Somebody picked up that I had the same shoes as my brother.
Oh, okay. They noticed.
They were
yeah, they were on you.
Bro, they were like, you got the same shoes, y'all got the same size. And mind you, bro, they had a hole in the bottom
of their shoes.
On my shoes, my shoes.
Okay.
So, bro, like I'll get home with just like on my big toe, a black spot. Because it will make a hole through the sock. Yeah. So like,
yeah, I know. I've been there, bro. I know how that shit feels. I know exactly how that shit feels.
And I forgot what the other thing was, man. Damn.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's just, so the thing with fear, the way I look at it is like, it's a barrier in your mind. Because if you really think about it, there's no such thing as fear. It's a concept that we make up in our own heads. So it's not something you're born with. It's something that somebody puts in you. Somebody instills the fear inside of you. It could be either through, they're trying to, you know, I don't even know how to explain it. They're trying to protect you, or like have caution and stuff like that. But that caution only breeds fear. The only way you could get through something is, like you said, raw action. So you could just go straight through it, or you could be cautious of it. But the more and more you're being cautious of it, and that forces you to think more, and that's where the fear comes from.
So who put the fear in your head of snakes?
The snakes? I really don't know. I think I might have. Oh wait, no, I don't know. Actually, that was a spider. I was thinking about different story.
Arachnophobia? That's what
no, I'm not. I'll slam a spider. I don't go fuck. I'll grab anything. Yeah, because when I was small, there used to be like this in my old house. Well, not my old house. When I used to live in DR, there used to be like this thing behind our house that wasn't like the woods, but there was like this area where there wasn't no buildings. It was just a bunch of like rubble and like brushes and I don't even know how to explain it, like trees and stuff. But one night, it was in my mom's room. She left like the window open, and a big ass spider came through, And it was like one of those shits. It was like this big, bro.
Like the ones that
like, bro, like brolic ass spider. And I remember my grand. It was like somehow it got out of the room, and then they went to like the front door, and it was like literally in the front entrance of the house. And my grandma was in the house, but she couldn't see it. And we're like, yo, the spider's right next to your foot. She couldn't see it. She came out with a knife trying to like kill the spider, but she couldn't see it, and like her foot was right there. So I was like, I was young. I was very young. I don't know if I forget the age, but I remember I was like, I gotta find something. That shit about to bite her or like jump on top of her or some shit. So I looked to the side, and it just happened to be a brick right there. Because the way my old house was, it was the front door is here. There's like a spot area where there was supposed to be like a car or some shit, but we didn't have a car in there. It was just an area, and then it was like a fence. And then the house was like right next door to us. Because like the houses were very close together. The house right next door was like made out of brick, but I guess there was a brick that fell off or some shit. It was like it was either half a brick or a full brick. I literally grabbed that shit and just went pow, bro. But that was a big ass spider. That shit wanted to like move or some shit and like jump on top of me. I probably would have shit myself, but it didn't. And that's how I got over the fear of spiders.
I've been with people that are claustrophobic, which is like
you can't be in small areas.
Yeah, so I'd be like, this happened not too long ago. I told this person, everything's like we're not the walls are not getting smaller or closer to us. We're still here, especially like, I mean, bro, back in my country, I'm not even making this up. Every other week, I would get stuck in the elevator because there was no maintenance on the. So like I would get stuck, have to, I remember one time I got home and I was going home to my, because I used to live in an apartment.
Yeah.
So I remember that I was with some lady. We went up, the doors open, and all you saw was the brick. You know how like, bro, she was like, oh my God. She was like I was like, yo.
You be thinking that like they're overreacting, but that's like, how do you even explain it? In her world, it was really a crazy event.
But I'm
you were fine. Yeah. But it's just something that you make up in your head. That's what I'm saying. It's like, it's a concept. It's not really real unless you give it power. You're the one that's actually like, I guess an analogy that you could use for that is if somebody's scared of ghost. Someone, let's say for example, there's two scenarios. You have me and you, and we're both in one house, and apparently the house is haunted. Right? I believe in ghosts. You don't believe in ghosts. Right? I go in the house and we're going to sleep at night, and I hear a creak. I hear a noise. I believe in ghosts, so I'm like, oh, I start freaking out. I'm like, oh shit, this house is really haunted. I can't sleep the whole night. I'm terrified. You hear the same noise. You're like, it's just the wind, and you go to sleep. You end up having a fine night, and I end up not even sleeping because I'm fucking afraid of ghosts. But it's kind of that same concept. If you're really afraid of something, if you have fear towards it, you're giving it power if you really believe it.
Yo, I actually had sleep paralysis last night.
Oh my, really? I haven't had sleep paralysis in a while.
Bro, 2 times back to back, and I was like, I that's the worst. But I went back to what you said. This is a funny story.
Yeah.
This is gonna sound so bad and like so ghetto, but look,
ghetto,
not ghetto, but okay. Look, man, I'm not just guys. I'm sorry, excuse me. I'm from a third world country. When I say I come from nothing, that's like you're gonna understand why.
Yeah.
There used to be roaches, like a lot of roaches, and I will find pleasing to like smash them. So wherever I see, bro, I'll throw anything, like whatever.
I should be like that with ants.
I mean, one time I was gonna kill one.
Yeah.
And I said, "Oh, I'm gonna kill you. Come here."
Yeah.
Louis, I kid you not. I got this. I think it was high, so I got on on top of something. When I went like this, that thing started flying.
Oh, it's one of the flying.
That thing started flying, bro.
It's a different level when they can move like that.
See, now we're in a different game. Now I'm gonna let you be. But that scared me. That scared me.
You got it.
That's scary.
Nah, but I also want to. I mean, I got a couple more things that I wanted to ask you. What are some other fears that you had growing up? I think we kind of talked about it in the 20 minutes that we were recording earlier. But
you know what I'm really scared of, bro? Losing my parents.
Losing your parents?
Like that's something that I try not to think about it, and I know it's
a reality
impossible.
Of life.
Yeah. But I really wish that my parents were with me for my whole life. Yeah. I know at some point it's gonna, and I'm not trying to get emotional or like, this is like you gotta play the song.
The world's smallest violin.
But yeah, that's a fear that, and I don't think that's a way for me to get Unless they actually.
There's no way to get past that. It's not really a fear, but I understand that. And like I said, it's just a reality of life. I've kind of accepted the fact, so I don't get sad when I think about it, because I'm the oldest male that my dad has had. So it's kind of my responsibility to take the torch after he passes away. So I've kind of accepted the fact. I don't get sad. I've thought about it multiple times. I've had a conversation with Chris about it as well. Because my parents have sat me down and like, are you ready for when that happens? And I wasn't young. It happened, I would say maybe like a year and a half ago. I think it was during the pandemic. Like if something happens like that, you know, with the fear that was going on with the whole the cough. I used to call it the cough, you know. With the cough, they sat me down and my dad had a whole conversation with me about that. And recently I asked him, my little brother, my younger brother, not little, he's taller than me at this point, but my younger brother asked him, I was like, are you ready for when that happens? And he had the same reaction that you had. He was like I don't want to think about that, because if I do, I'm gonna start crying. And he actually started like tearing up. I could see it in his face, like it started like drawing the emotion. And I told him, I was like, you're gonna have to get over that, because if it I don't want it to happen, but it's a reality of life, dude. Like we just gotta accept it. And us being, I mean, you're not the oldest son, so I believe Kevin has more of a like pressure on him. But either way, you don't have to be the oldest son to really feel that pressure as well, because just being a dude, like it's different for girls. Like, obviously, I don't want to get into that whole, you know, but it's different for a girl, because, you know, even like obviously you're still going to be sad from losing your parents, but you don't have that societal pressure of, all right, now you got to be the man of the house type shit, even though some girls probably do embody that. And, you know,
well, bro, I'll tell you what,
more power to them, but I'm prepared. I've actually come up with a plan of like what I have to do if anything were like that were to happen. But like I said, I always think chess moves ahead of everything that I do in life. And that's actually crazy you brought that up.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, bro, there's two things you can escape:
death and taxes.
You know.
Yeah. I mean, you could do it legally in a way, but
yeah. Okay, there's one thing you can escape. So what are some things that you're afraid of?
Like I said, I'm not,
besides snakes.
Yeah, besides the fear of snakes. Like I want to get over that actually. So if I ever find anybody that has
get you a snake, bro. Not
as a pet. I don't.
Yeah, but I might get you a snake so you can touch it and be like,
yeah, I'll touch it. But I don't do snakes. Like I've said, I'm not afraid of anything. Like I said, the only thing that I'm really afraid of is God, and I believe that should be the only thing you're God and your father. But I feel like it's not really fear in terms of my dad. It's more respect. I respect him more than anything.
And fear.
Afraid of. I'm not really afraid of too many things, but the only thing I could think of is, and this is kind of contradicting, but is the fear of failure, in a way. You know, like being just dying as a nobody. You know, just being one of those people. You know, once you die, just everybody, the whole world forgets your name. I'm not trying to be one of those people, but it's contradicting because you have to fail to be able to succeed. Because every time you fail, you're just getting a step closer and a step closer and a step closer to actual success. And I heard this from somebody, I forgot who it was. It's like, you're going to fail many times, but, you know, I guess the analogy he uses, like if you throw enough shit at the wall, something's going to stick, right? So it's like, you got to keep going no matter what, and keep failing and knock all these barriers down. Grab a hammer, you know, literally. You know, you could just be hammering at the wall, and then just that one thing that you failed at is going to be that thing that gets you that extra amount of strength that like you just break through it, right? So it's kind of contradicting. I wouldn't say I'm afraid of it anymore. I'm actually pushing towards failure more now, especially with like business and all stuff, and business and finances, everything, relationships, gym life, all that. It's just, you know, you have to fail in life to be able to turn into somebody, because you then turn into somebody differently, or somebody who you want to become. From that failure, or you could, you know, collapse and let that overtake you. But the strong ones will use that and kind of like put it on their shoulders, like, you know, like brush it off their shoulders, like, yeah, that was nothing, like now I gotta keep going. I figured this thing out, I failed, I gotta keep going, what's next? That's the type of mentality I have. But in terms of fear, like I said, I was very self-conscious about my body, so I would go anywhere, like, I gotta stop saying like, but anywhere. For example, like the beach or a pool, I would be the type that be in there with a shirt on, just because I never wanted to take my shirt off. I was always very conscious of my body, and that's something that I tweeted about the other day. I actually want to read it in here, but I was always very conscious of my body, and I'm very proud of myself, bro, because that's something that I took, and like you said, like knocked it down. Like I ran through that shit. Let me read the thing. I tweeted it out, but
it's a tweet, man.
I said, I'm proud of myself, flourishing in every endeavor of life, from wealth to intellect and relationships, all while being disciplined and maintaining the body of a Greek god, yet still humble enough to admit that I am no better than anyone else. Right? But if I was afraid of people looking at my body, or not confident enough to, even be at the beach without a shirt on, like, well, that sounds crazy, right? Like,
Insane, bro.
But I was really self-conscious like that. Like, I really did not want people looking at my body, because I was just really skinny to the point where I was, like, bro, anorexic at that point. People would be like, yo, do you eat? And like, even shit like that would like add to that fear of being outside or people looking at my body. But now that I think about it, if I really would have folded, then I wouldn't have the body that I have now. I wouldn't have the confidence that I have now, because now nobody can tell me shit when it comes to my body or the way I look, bro, because I know I've gotten over shit like that. It's like, whatever you say is not going to do anything to me that I haven't already said or done to myself. So it's like, it goes to show the importance of self-love and attacking those fears that you have. Because like I said, I wouldn't be here with the body that I have now if I wasn't conscious of that fear
too.
And yeah, that in itself as well. But then also in the stuff I wear, like we were talking about earlier, like everybody treats you differently once you wearing different types of clothes. Like obviously, let's say you go from not having the money to afford the high-end sneakers or the hype beast stuff, right? But as soon as you put it on, everybody's like, oh, you look cool now. So now you're fitting in. But then you're also not being true to yourself in a way, because now you're just doing that too. Unless you do enjoy that stuff and you've always wanted it, like, go ahead and wear it. Like, who am I to tell you what to wear? But you also got to stay true to yourself. But also on top of that, it's also, I don't even know how to explain it, but in terms of maturing, like you said, and I have a bunch of shoes as well that I don't use. I have a bunch of clothes, bro. You see my closet, a bunch of clothes that I barely use. And now I'm just on the comfortable vibes. Like I'd rather be comfortable than look high end. Like how you can still look comfortable and look very fashionable. Like the whole Yeezy brand is all built on comfort and still looking modern and stuff like that. So I'm kind of on that vibe, but I know that you have to be presentable in certain events, certain areas in life. And also, like I said, I gotta stop saying, like how we were talking about earlier, being dapper, like just being in that different type of, I guess, gentleman's wear is what you would call it. Is that, and it intrigues me. I love the way that shit looks. Like, you wear a nice I mean, it could be anything. It could be a suit. It could be just a nice shirt with dress pants, with some nice shoes, with a watch on. You just look different. You look built.
Good, you feel good.
That's a fact. But if you look good or you feel good and hype beast wear, then I guess wear that. But if you're self-conscious of what you're wearing because people used to make fun of you, now you're a whole different person. If you knock that barrier down and kind of got over it. That was kind of a ramble, but I feel like that was important for me to say.
Let's clock in with some finance, bro.
Hey, man, actually, that's funny you said that, because I guess that's the name of the segment now. Is clocked in financially. I'm gonna make a whole thing for it. You'll probably see it in effect next episode, because I have to make it. But that is the new name for it, clocked in financially. Like I say every episode, do your own research. This is just information that I want to give out to you guys, and I don't want anybody to do any type of financial movements and financial how do I even say it, anything that has to do with moving money. I don't want anybody to do that off of topics that they themselves are not comfortable doing without having the correct information. So do your own research back there. Hello, look, the dog. I don't know how the hell he got outside. It's dark. But okay, as of September 21st, the Federal Reserve raised their benchmark interest rates by 75 basis points, which means that we are now sitting at the highest interest rates since 2008. Do you remember what happened in 2008?
No, I don't remember.
No?
I wasn't here, bro.
2008 was the most recent recession that we've had, was when the real estate market popped. The bubble blew up, and they were basically giving out loans to everybody and anybody who wanted loans, and wasn't sustainable for the economy, and everything just started going down. And yeah, but
Start getting PPP loans. PPP.
Yeah, people still haven't gotten the effects of the PPP yet. They're gonna get to it. Don't think you just got free money, but
they're gonna catch up to you, man.
So the driving factor, well, this isn't the last time that they're planning on increasing rates. They've actually said that they're gonna keep increasing rates depending on how inflation goes, and that is the determining factor for this. The driving factor, I would say, for these basis points or interest rates going up is inflation. I'm gonna get more into that as we keep going in the segment. But when the Federal Reserve raises rates, they do so by looking at how much prices are increasing both month per month and year per year. So year per year, and adjusting these policies in an attempt to bring the prices back down. So they would look at, for example, gas prices from month to month, year to year, and they'll be like, okay, are they getting higher? Okay, they're getting higher, so let's make money more difficult to acquire in terms of loans. Banks giving out loans so that the economy demand goes down, and hopefully the prices ends up leveling out or going down. In the short term, this means that there's going to be more pain in the markets. Markets are going to start going down. Less demand for consumers, and according to analysis, a higher unemployment rate while fewer jobs are being created. And that's just normal if you really think about it. While we're in a recession, there's just going to be more people being laid off from work, and less opportunities for jobs. There's going to be less entrepreneurs in a way, which, I mean, it depends on the people, but just unemployment in general, people are not gonna be trying to put out more money into employees and stuff like that when the economy in general is down. You know, if money's not coming in, how can they keep dishing out money? That makes sense. Yep. But the latest inflation report was released Tuesday, September 13th. And to everyone's surprise, it was an absolute disaster. This is because inflation was largely expected to go down due to it already decreasing from 9.1% to 8.5%. And gas prices were falling. But they expected my bad. I'm sorry about that. The expectations was that we should see inflation go down to 8%. So it went from 9.1% to 8.5%. So everybody was like, oh, you know, maybe it's starting to go down in terms of inflation. And then the gas prices have you noticed that? I don't know. The gas prices started to level out again. They're going down. But everyone thought that that inflation rate was going to go down to 8%. It didn't end up doing that at all. Instead of going down to 8%, it went to 8.3% year to year, and month to month over the last month increased by 0.1%. And you will see that number and think it's not a lot, but in the macro and the larger picture, it is a lot if you know what you're talking about and you know what you're looking at. This implies that inflation is not only going down as quickly as expected, it's not going down as quickly as expected. Costs are continuing to increase across certain sectors, and even energy prices have been falling down, and other categories are costing more, leading to Americans having less money left over at the end of the month, basically, or at the end of the year, if you want to look at it in that sense. So there are some things that are, such as energy prices are going down, that would make you think that, you know, maybe there's something in the market out there that, or there's maybe another driving factor that is bringing inflation down, but it's really not if everything else is going up. You know what I'm saying? In just the last month, food and medical increased by 0.8%. Shelter is up another 0.7%, and new vehicle sales are actually costing more than last month, which is kind of scary because you would think the markets were going to go down, right? In terms of, I mean, the car market, it is going down in the long run, but if it went up in the new vehicles from last month, it's kind of scary to think about because how much higher they're going to end up getting. Because, bro, there's some cars right now that are going for what they should not be going for.
Didn't you tell me that one of your friends got a car for like twice the price?
Listen, man. Be smart with your money out there. They know what they're doing, but
do they know?
Hopefully, no. I'm talking about the government. The government knows what they're doing, or not even the government. Let me rephrase that in a way where it's more clear. But if you know that something like that, such as a car, is not putting any money in your account, if it's a personal car, you know, it's different if you're renting out. We were talking about this yesterday. It's different if you're renting your car out But if it's your personal car, more likely than not, it's taking money out of your account. You know, you got to pay your gas, you got to pay maintenance. Some nonsense always happens with the cars once you're doing good. I don't know why. It's like it knows. It definitely knows. I don't know. But I guess the last point is that core inflation, which excludes foods and energy prices, increased by 0.6% month over month, signaling that this isn't just a random anomaly and that prices are increasing above the federal rates control rate. So if the Federal Reserve, did I say federal rate? I'm sorry. Yeah, Federal Reserve's control rate. But if the federal government can't even regulate it in a way, what they're doing, the efforts that they're putting out to the market isn't doing what it's supposed to or what they're intending it to do, then we have to be very cautious of how we spend our money, how we save our money, because either way, if you're saving money, inflation is still going up. So, you know, your buying power is still decreasing if you're saving. So I guess the smartest thing to do is invest your money, but also, you know, have it strategically saved if you are saving. Now that inflation and interest rates are going up, some banks are actually giving incentives to saving accounts. So they're, instead of giving you 0.0001% on your savings, and you get half a penny for having your money in there. I believe there's some banks that have gotten up to like 2%. I mean, better than 0.001%. Inflation is at 9% basically. So it's like you're still end up losing, but it's better than, you know, 0.001%. Right. Either way, it's still bad. I guess the smartest thing for me, and this is just from personal advice, I guess, but this is not financial advice, you know, you got to say that. But from personal advice is, you know, save your money, have money, because there's going to be opportunities, especially with the crash. All the markets are basically going down. There's just no way we've just been like, as an economy, the government has been pumping money into the economy for so long that it was just meant to be that there was going to be a crash eventually. You know, it just happens that it's now or coming in the near future. But right now I would say, you know, look for those opportunities, because there's going to be many opportunities coming up to invest into some good assets. That could be real estate, that could be stocks, that could be bonds, that could be options, that could be crypto, businesses, anything that is really an asset. But, you know, save your money to the point where it's strategic. You know, don't just have it in a savings account just to have it in there. Invest your money, I would say, on a regular basis, because if you buy up assets now, when the economic tide turns, then, you know, you'll be up, obviously. But historically, I believe if you're an investor for, I believe it was like 50 years or something like that. I don't know how accurate this is, but you'll live through, I believe it was like 16 recessions or some shit like that. And I don't know how accurate that is, but you're going to go through recessions. A lot of us got into investing after the whole pandemic and stuff like that. And we're fairly new to this, so we haven't really experienced a recession. We haven't really felt what it feels to see your account go in the red. And I mean, like I said, the way I look at it is like there's no losing in this, because I look at my account and obviously, yeah, it's in the red right now, but I'm looking at it for the long term either way. I don't care how my account looks today. I'm worried about how it looks in 10 to 15 years. So right now I'm seeing it as a discount. You know, everything is on discount. You know, I'm getting these good quality companies for a cheaper price. So, you know, keep pumping in there. And historically, the S&P 500 has a return of about 6 to 7%. So if inflation is at 9% and you're doing 6 to 7% on your money, you know, you're still losing in a sense. But if they end up regulating inflation, which they probably will, by increasing interest rates crazy, but that's just the name of the game. There's no other way around it. You know, they have to somehow slow down the economy, slow down the demand, so that these numbers end up coming down to something reasonable. But, you know, invest your money wisely and pay attention to those opportunities, and don't be afraid. Don't have fear in yourself that, you know, you'll be like, oh, I'm gonna lose my money and this and that, because if it's not a risk you're taking, then, you know, you won't reap the rewards from it. But, you know, that's the last thing I had to say on the financial segment. That was kind of a splurge in many things, but there's still some getting used to this that I'm gonna have to do, you know.
For sure, bro, for sure.
But let's keep it going, man.
Let's step into some rapid fire real quick, bro, before my phone dies.
Let's get it.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Mm-hmm. You ready?
Go ahead.
All right, here we go. Would you rather live a peaceful life in a small cabin in the woods, or a mansion in the big city?
Damn, this is rapid fire, but I want to get into this question. Can we do that? Yeah. All right, man. So, okay. I'm gonna just say I say his name every episode.
At this point, just say the man that got canceled. Everybody should know.
Andrew Emery Tate. But he said, this is kind of across from the question itself, but he said that it's not even possible anymore to be able to, you know, live in the woods and be that person where you're off the radar. You know, now you have to live in as many grids as possible. So, you know, that's why he talks about having 16 different passports, so that, you know, if they cancel you on one passport, now you have all these other ones that you could pop up and be like, all right, cancel this one, this one, this one. Oh, that one works. Okay. So you could keep going. So that's the way I want to look at life, in a sense that, you know, I don't want to be that person that's in the middle of the woods, because then you don't own anything. You're just, you know, you're living probably blissfully, you know, no.
See the boys, bro. See the boys.
No problems. I mean, you probably do have problems, but, you know, they're different problems from what you would have if you're involved in society. I'm not afraid of being alone, so I wouldn't mind that. But then again, the plans I have in life, I have to be around people socially, and I think I'd rather live in a mansion in the city. That would just be more ideal, you know, more connections, more people you get to know, your circle gets bigger, more business ventures end up coming up, more opportunities. So I'll pick that. I'll
pick the mansion too.
And you're living in a mansion.
Yeah. So would you rather be stranded in the jungle or the desert?
The jungle.
The jungle?
Yeah. Desert is pretty harsh, bro. Oh, do you have anything?
Nothing in the desert.
Do you have anything or no? What? The cold and the hot?
I mean, there's nothing like you can't make fire.
Yeah, but you know how hot that shit is, and at night you know how cold that shit is.
There's nothing.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, it's pretty harsh, dude. It's like you're just, and then you start getting the what's this shit called?
Oh, and when they get
the hallucinations and all that shit.
And the
heat waves,
storms,
yeah,
like
the
sand storms, whatever.
The sand tornadoes and shit.
Yeah.
There's a lot that goes on in there, but then again, you're also now in a jungle with a bunch of fucking insects and spiders, anything. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'll pick the. Do you have like anything to defend yourself or no? Cause like if I have a machete, I'll be good in the jungle. I'm gonna start cutting wood down, make a house, you know. Do you or no? No, then yeah, I'll pick the desert. At that point in the desert, yeah, because in the desert you just gotta walk until you find something. I don't know what direction you gotta look at the stars and find the North Star and just start walking in that direction.
In the jungle though.
In the jungle, you got trees and shit. You can't really figure out where you're at. If it's too many trees, and let's say it's a rainforest. Now you got the water. You're all wet. You got all these slimy ass fucking bugs. You got spiders, snakes, fucking all these big ass animals that you got to worry about. Now, I mean, in the desert you have no water either, so you're gonna have to figure out how to get hydrated. I mean, the only way you could get hydrated in the desert is to find a cactus and try to open it up and drink the water that's inside the cactus. But then if you have nothing to open it up with, you're gonna have to fucking chop it up with your hands, and then now you're gonna get. Yeah, it's not. I don't think there's a win-win in either or. But
would you rather have one wish granted today, or 10 wishes 10 wishes granted in 20 years from now?
Can I ask for more wishes in that first wish?
No,
then 20 years from now. I'm a very, how do I say it? I believe in, what is the word? I forgot. It just left my head. But when you are thinking more, delayed gratification. I'm very heavy on delayed gratification. That's why I'm a long-term investor in every investment group or investment venture that you could get into. It's because, you know, I think Jay-Z said this in a thing. It's like yeah, you got a Beamer and all this, but we'll see in a couple years. When that's the thing with a lot of people I've noticed especially in our age range, like a lot of people, like you said, care about what other people say or think about them, so they put themselves in very weird financial situations. For example, like having a fucking car that costs way too much out of their budget. Like say for example, they miss one paycheck and that their shit's getting repoed, right? So they put themselves in those situations where it's not very smart, just because they want to have the attention and the validation from other people. because they have a nice car, you know, at a young age, or, you know, they got money now. Like, they could physically, like, look-wise, like, to the first look, they have money. You know, let's say, for example, I have a Beamer, and, you know, I'm paying more than 80% of my paycheck to pay off the Beamer a month. But, you know, I look like I have money. I look like wealth, you know? But this is, I don't know, it's not smart to me. But keep going.
Would you rather get hit on by someone that's 20 years older than you?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, now let's make... Okay, let me rephrase this. Would you rather get hit on by someone that's 10 years older than you or someone that's 15 years younger than you?
All right, so this has to be hypothetical because somebody 15 years younger than me.
Let's say you're 50.
Young. Okay.
You're 50.
Okay.
I should have said
no, it's too old.
35.
Okay. 15 years younger than me, then damn, she's 20. Okay. Yeah, I'll pick the younger for female. I don't want no old hag, no old bag of chips. Sounds messed up, but us as men, bro, we look for fertility and youth and females either way. They look for mature, how do you even say it? Matureness? Yeah, matureness. They look for matureness in men and obviously security, and we look for fertility in youth. So it's like, that's just a reality of life. If you don't believe in that, then you're just a bot.
It is what it is, man.
But, you know, I wouldn't be mad. Wasn't that thing that Leo DiCaprio does? Where he gets like a new female after she hits 25. I don't know how. I don't know if he does that intentionally. Maybe it's just a coincidence.
No,
but you know, I'll do the same thing, honestly. But if I have a good wife, I don't know if he had ever. Did he ever get married or?
I don't think he ever got married. No,
that's what I'm saying. Maybe he just hasn't found one that maybe.
No, actually, he has kids. No,
I don't know. I believe he has kids.
I don't want to. Yeah,
I don't know, but maybe he, you know, I mean, it's different once you're a top 1% guy. You know, he has the fame, the clout, the power. So, you know, you could do whatever you want in life at that point. But I also believe in, you know, if you have that one good girl that is with you and holds it down while you're going up, or if you're already up, and so you meet a 20-year-old and she's the perfect girl in your eyes, and she doesn't cost you, you know, your peace of mind. She doesn't cost you freedom in life, because a lot of females try to, like, when they see, like, remember that video I showed you earlier, when they see that you're like that guy that has that drive, that that you want them but you don't need them, when they see that, it kind of like attacks them in a way, because like it makes them feel different, because a lot of dudes just, you know, want to leech off of them because they have nothing else to kind of offer. But if you find a girl, let's say you're 35, you find a girl that's 20, and she's that perfect girl who doesn't bother you, lets you do whatever you got to do, you know, doesn't try to force it on you. She's holding you down, basically. And she reaches past 25, you know, I don't think it's really a problem to stay with her. I find that kind of weird, but I'm not Leo. He has his reasons, and he probably has a good reason. So y'all better go ask him.
Yeah, I'm going to give you my quote. Before my phone died.
Go ahead.
Because it's gonna die very soon.
Hold up. And hey, you did it type late, dude. But go ahead.
All right, so this quote came from a lady that I saw. I went to the bank and she gave me a quote. She told me this. She said,
She did that intentionally? My fault. Huh? She did that intentionally?
Yeah, intentionally.
Okay.
Actually, no. Intentionally, but I told her to repeat it so I can remember. Okay. She said that learn everything you need to know and just don't say anything about it, and see how the people around you will talk to you. That way you figure out who's really trying to help you or bring you down.
Okay, she said learn everything you need to know and don't say anything about it, and then you'll see if the people around you want to help you, or what was the ending part? So
you'll see who's really trying to help you, bring you up or bring you down. And that's actually one of the, I think I read that in the 48 Laws of Power too. How I think it's the third law, third or fourth.
What is he still doing outside?
That's like conceal your
intentions.
Your intentions, that one. And then one of the examples is how this guy know everything that was going on, but he kept quiet. And then when everything happened, whatever happened broke down, then, you know, he was aware of everything, but he just didn't want to say. And of course, he ended up at the top.
Yeah, I believe Justin Waller said something about that recently as well in a podcast that he was on. All right, for this example, I'm gonna use when I say friends, those are the people who are just around you. When I say brother, those are the ones that you could really that you can trust. Like those are the ones that are really there for you to grow. So for example, a friend would be somebody that I just see at the gym and say what up to, and then a brother I would consider kind of your brother, right? So this is just so that people understand. So he said, your friends will only be friends when I don't think it was when you were beneath them, but it's like if once you elevate past them, they switch up on you because it kind of attacks them in a way. Like you're showing them their fears. They're like you're a literal like representation of what they fear, like their belief system. That you're the physical form of their belief of their fears. That I don't even know how to explain it. You're literally like they're looking at themselves in you, but everything that they couldn't do themselves, they see that in you. So once you already elevate past them, they'll try to like bring you down to their level or below them again. So it's like you got to make sure you got the right brothers around you to that want to see you succeed, that want to see you do better in life, because a lot of people don't, and that's something that's very true, especially in the Danbury. And it's crazy the amount of hate that is in Danbury. It's weird, but you just got to take it the way it is. It literally is the way it is. But people just hate. Show love out there. And I guess my quote is from the late great Emery Tate, Andrew Tate's father. He says, "A man does not acquire a full skill set to be told take care or be careful by amateurs. Raw action solves everything. Caution breeds fear." And it's kind of has to do with what we've been talking about this whole episode. It's like the only way to get past fear is to run through it. I guess an example would be, if you ever see a child, like have you ever seen, I think Jordan Peterson was talking about this. He was like, if you ever see a child doing something dangerous carefully, then you got to let them rock, because right there, they're so focused that if you interrupt them, one, you're messing with their focus. So you're kind of interrupting their, how like athletes get into that I don't want to say like that flow state where they're just moving, they're not thinking, but like everything is going on perfectly, right? So that it's kind of that same concept when a child is like very focused on an action, but that's the important part about it is like they're doing something dangerous, but carefully. But like if you think about it, they're not thinking about it like that. They're just like being cautious of what they're doing themselves. But then let's say you go over there and you're like, "Yo, be careful," or something like that. You broke them out of their flow state, one, and then you like that fear that you put on top of them, like, "Yo, be careful, like watch out." Now they're gonna see that, and then whatever, like say they're on top of like a stool or some shit, and now like you startling them like that, they're gonna start like feeling the fear go run through them, and then they're gonna fall over. So it's like it's very different when it comes to children, I guess. But what I don't know why I went into that, but like, yeah, the only way to really get past your fears is to run straight through that shit. Don't really think about it. A lot of people, especially when it comes to business, they're a lot scared of doing certain things. And I know we were kind of terrified of doing certain things when we first started, but what do? We just said, fuck it, let's get into it. There's nothing else that we could do. Is either we go through this, fail and learn from it, or we never do it. So we were like, let's get into it. And if somebody would have been like, "Oh, nah, be careful, you don't want to do that because this will happen or something like this will happen," then we would have never done it. And, that would have brought their fear onto us. And then, it would have held us from our potential. There we go, man. That has been episode 36. I want to personally apologize for my lack of, how do I even say it? Disruptive language. I was trying to stay conscious of saying like, and obviously it's going to take me more than one day to really figure that out or make it in such a way where it's efficient. But that's kind of why I kept on pausing and I messed up on a bunch of things. I also had a couple of spelling errors in my financial segment stuff. So I just want to apologize for that. We'll definitely try to make it better by next episode. I just have to be more conscious of the words I'm using and really think through what I'm going to say. But this has been...
Yeah, guys. Say, once again, thank you for tuning in. Episode 36. Stay in the lookout always. Take care. We love you guys.
Don't be afraid of anything, man. Run through that shit.
Don't be
don't limit yourself.
You know what?
A party pooper. A bot.
And stay safe, stay healthy.
What's the last thing you always say at the end of the episode?
Cuídense.
Cuídense what?
Just cuídense. Just today, just cuídense. Just take care of yourself.
I still gonna say much. You know, o mojamos el loco o bebemos romo. That's it, man. Thank y'all for tuning in. Stay safe out there.
Peace out, y'all.